Hi, good evening. This is News Night. It's live from our studios at Labone in Accra, also on DSTV channel 277. I am Ignatius, and our top stories making headlines this hour. President John Mahama directs Foreign Affairs Ministry to lead revival of the Ghana-Nigerian Commission into an expanded permanent entity to deepen bilateral relations. University of Cape Coast arrests suspect who specializes in fake results for WASSCE applicants to secure admission at tertiary institutions. Ghana could be hit by severe food shortage this year. We'll tell you what farmer-based organizations wish. And 17 people killed in NATO strike in Afghanistan. Hi there, I thank you for joining me on News Night. Let's settle for the news now in detail. And President and leader of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, is assuring NDC supporters of one-touch victory come December 2016. He also says the overwhelming endorsement of his candidature by all 275 constituencies is a clear indication of the strong bond between the party and the government. President John Mahama, clad in the white, filed his nominations late afternoon today. The party headquarters was packed with scores of supporters who thronged there to give him moral support. They included national executives, members of parliament and government appointees. In a brief remark after filing his nominations, the president says he will do everything possible to clinch victory in the next general elections. National Chairman for the NDC, Kofi Portofi, also pledged the National Executive's full support and called for all hands to be on deck for a rigorous campaign. Let's hear them.
And so I think that this event that we're just witnessing is a very, very strong symbol of the supremacy of the party in guiding the actions of government. I promise that I'll continue the great heritage of our party, and I'll continue in the footsteps of my great predecessors, Jerry John Rawlings and Professor John Evans Atta Mills, and that I will do everything possible, materially, physically, spiritually, to ensure that I lead this party again into a one-touch victory in 2016.
We wish him well in this next effort to be the leader of our party and the next president between 2016 and 2020. On behalf of the mass of our people in the party, I can assure him that we, the members of the party, the foot soldiers and the leaders of the party, are the ward, the branches, the constituencies, region and national, will offer him continued support, and we will make sure that from today our message of 2016 will begin to go round.
Let's still talk about politics, moving away from the governing NDC to the camp of the opposition New Patriotic Party, NPP. 2016 presidential candidate of the party, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is not happy about recent developments within the rank and file of the party. He's issued a strong caution to all members of the party to desist from discussing internal matters in the media. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo concurs the practice will affect the fortunes of the NPP in the run-up to the 2016 general elections. He made this known in Odam as his Rise and Build tour reached the Eastern region today.
Many of you, understandably and quite rightly, are concerned about the things that are happening at the top of our party. I am very concerned about it. And I've made up a clear decision in my mind that we're going to have to resolve those problems so that there can be peace in our party for us to be able to move our party forward. But as a beginning, Baba said, the radio campaign in our party is not helping any of us. Ms. Samuel, let us stop discussing NPP matters on the radio. Oh, now do I send the call to radio? Obi Amuyawa, Ebebu, Uncle Kano be Kebia, Afin Ababayasam. Now Kebi, no be an Kebia. Asama Oko de Koyano, Ebebu, Mesamo, let's make a resolution. No more radio campaigns in the NPP. As I'm saying to you, the problems that have to be resolved.
From the Eastern region to the Central region now, and the police at the Cape Coast University has arrested a fake 1C result specialist who has been specializing in helping his victim gain admission to various tertiary institutions in the country. Owner of Ash to Gold, an NGO in Takrade, has been processed for court. Deputy Registrar at the University of Cape Coast, Jeffrey Onyame, confirmed this in the following telephone interview.
Of course, he's going to be prosecuted. That's the reason the case is with the police. And so he's being processed to appear before court. That's what will happen. Because he has been at this, not just this year, but some time back, I guess 2 years back or so, we had a similar case where someone got into the university with someone else's particulars. We got that person out and asked her, a lady, incidentally, and try as we did, she eluded the security, the DNI, the police, and thankfully this year he tried it again, and then we were able to get hold of him with the help of the security and the lady who was given the particulars of another, the imposter or impersonator, if you want. Came and registered, and whilst at lectures, we got her and asked her to arrest, and that we have done. So the case, as I said, is to the police, and we are pressing on with it. We are going to get a detailed information about him, pictures, and all of that to send out to the press. So whoever has been defrauded by him can come forward and make a case against him.
All right, so let's bring you some more stories now. Ghana and Nigeria have pledged to strengthen bilateral relations for mutual benefit. This follows a closed-door meeting between President John Mahama and his Nigerian counterpart Muhammadu Buhari, who was here for a day's working visit.
Relations between Ghana and Nigeria span several decades. Though Nigeria is an economic giant, it has depended closely on Ghana for mutual interest in the areas of regional security, trade and other related matters bothering West Africa. President Muhammadu Buhari's visit is the first since his election in March this year and was met on arrival at the Kotoka International Airport by President John Dramani Mahama and some Nigerians in Ghana. The two leaders had a closed-door meeting at the Peduasi Lodge before their joint news conference. In his address, Ghana's president again congratulated him for his election and announced his directive to the Foreign Affairs Minister to lead the initiative to expand the Ghana-Nigeria Commission into a permanent entity.
We have agreed on the protocol for the issuance of the ECOWAS biometric card to all ECOWAS citizens. And that ECOWAS biometric card entitles ECOWAS citizens not only to visit, but to reside and work in each other's countries.
President Buhari's address was brief. He touched on the fight against Boko Haram and his commitment to lead a transparent government.
The military is really gaining ground, and Boko Haram is virtually limited now to Sambisa forest. And the people, that is the persons that have been moved out because of the insurgency, there's the internally displaced persons, gradually moving back to their constituencies.
The Nigerian president has since left Ghana.
Let's get on the phone lines and speak to Dr. Vladimir Intridanso. He's a senior fellow at the Lagos Center for International Affairs and Diplomacy. Discussed this visit by the Nigerian president to Ghana early on today. Good evening, Doc. Thank you for joining me on Newsnight.
Good evening.
Particularly of what significance is Buhari's visit to Ghana, especially when in the past our relations between Ghana and Nigeria, as far as deals of gas supply to the country, have not largely gone in the interest of this country. How significant is this new deal?
It's still significant, especially so because the relationship between Ghana and Nigeria has been long. And again, within the sub-region, I see this as a typical kind of visit because our own president played a very big role in getting Nigeria to where it is today by his intervention. So I believe that Buhari has done very well in trying to realign the relationship between Ghana and Nigeria at the very moment.
And it looks like it's something that we can sustain for a very long time.
We do have to sustain it. The point is this, that at a point in time, there is always a chill and thaw between countries in such a relationship. So Ghana and Nigeria have had a series of chill and thaw. At independence, there were a lot of Nigerians over there who took advantage of our independence and food here and whatnot. And we had very good relationships. In the 70s, 1971, the airline compliance order created some tension. In 1983, it was Buhari who was then the head of it. And one way or the other, Ghanaians fell victim to the same compliance order of rejecting non-citizens. So those periods were slow moments. Again, we had a period when Obasanjo and Jerry Rawlings were not on good terms. These were moments that were not very good. But we have had very good moments also. So we need to sustain this kind of momentum, especially because of ECOWAS, because of our reliance on Nigerian exports and their reliance on our exports. We need to sustain this momentum.
Many thanks to you. Dr. Vladimir Intridanso is a senior fellow at the Lagos Center for International Affairs and Diplomacy. This is Newsnight. More stories when I return. Stick around. Hello again, you're live on Metro Television and this is Newsnight. I am Ignatius Anom. The Lebanese ambassador to Ghana has called on the Ghanaian youth to actively participate in the deliberations of the Sustainable Development Goals to whip up interest by various governments. His Excellency Ali Halabi made this call at a seminar on Sustainable Development Goals right here in Accra.
Were mostly media and law students drawn from various tertiary institutions in the country, some of whom are beneficiaries of the Lebanese Community Scholarship Scheme.
The social change cannot be achieved when all hands are not on deck. And for Ghana to achieve these substantial development goals, citizenry participation, especially on the part of youth, is a key factor.
A youth advocate, Richard Jikunu, noted that the Sustainable Development Goals, if signed, will have a positive impact on the youth.
This is going to drive the next development agenda for the next 15 years, and a lot of noise is being made about the Sustainable Development Goals, and it's up to us as young people to also know about this so that we keep our leaders accountable.
Some participants shared their thoughts.
The more we talk about it, the more people hear about it, the more we keep repeating to ourselves, the more we are likely to take actions to further the cause of whatever we are talking about.
If there are specific timelines, then we know you can hold the government accountable for that, a specific one. If the government in power doesn't have a political will to implement the goals, then it's a much ado about nothing.
We should work in our various ways and target how best we make life better for everyone, so that at least even if they are not very rich, they can live a life that is worthy of dignity, and that is of their human status.
The Sustainable Development Goals are expected to be achieved in 15 years in all signatory countries.
In other stories, the Omanhene of the Ogua traditional area is calling on government to re-establish the 30% senior high school placement quota to help students gain admission to schools within their communities.
Ogua Fetu Afashe Festival is celebrated annually on the first Saturday of September by communities in the Cape Coast traditional area. It is characterized by a deba of chiefs and processions of Asafo companies and numerous social organizations. Speaking at this year's Grand Deba, the Omanhene of the Ogua traditional area, Osabere Makwesi II, called on government to re-establish the 30% senior high school placement quota, which, according to him, will help students gain admission to schools within their communities.
Was as from Jay and was a car, Emma ye to ye. And so, Monsieur, or may it's not coming. Yenjay.
Member of Parliament for Cape Coast South constituency, Kweku Richard Hagen, donated a school bus to aid transportation means to the junior high schools in the community. The celebration was attended by Vice President Pakwesi Imsa Arthur, high-profile dignitaries, and people from all walks of life who witness a rich culture and tradition.
Osaberema, the theme for this Afashe is nurturing the younger generation to take up the mantle of leadership. The mantle of leadership in this great country. To prepare the youth, it requires peace. Without peace, without unity, the development will not be sustained.
Hello again. Now to the business news of Newsnight. And Ghana could be hit with a severe food shortage this year. Farmer-based organizations are blaming this on poor rainfall pattern across the food belt of the Bono Ahafo region and northern Ghana.
Ghana has been experiencing poor rainfall patterns over the last decade, forcing many commercial farmers to abandon arable lands. This year, the situation is even worse, according to farmers, and many crops are now withering away, a sign of low yield and possible crisis.
The basket area, I'm telling you, I have a lot of concerns. I'm talking about the transitional zone. Techiman, Ngransa, Ejura, Atebubu, Sene, so we need crops that are drought resistant. Even in the north this year, this climate change, if we don't do anything about it, the population of Ghana by 2050 is projected to be 60 million. How are we going to feed the 60 million?
Plans to introduce genetically modified crops, GMOs, in Ghana have been heavily criticized by some farmers and civil society groups. The National Biosafety Authority for now cannot say exactly when the approval will be given.
And at the moment, we are running confirmatory trials. And the permits that we have granted to these scientists to test them goes for 3 years. And after the 3 years, they come in again and obtain another permit for multi-location trials. That is to try the GMOs in different parts of the country. The next thing they have to do is to go to the Ministry of Agriculture and go through the varietal release process. That will take some time.
For now, the farmers are relying on Mother Nature to hear their prayers and perhaps some government intervention to cushion them.
Let's bring you business quote investment tip. Then later, we'll visit the commodities market for local and international figures. My colleague Prince Anand is standing by in the other studio. He has all the details from the world of sport. Prince, how do you do this evening?
Well, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. Yeah, it happens all the time.
What's happening in sports tonight?
Well, there's a lot happening in sports. We'll take our viewers into Kpando, where Accra Great Olympics played against Kpando Hearts of Lions. KG encounter it was. We'll bring our viewers the reactions from the two coaches. And then we'll also be bringing them up to speed with what's been happening with Team Ghana at the All Africa Games. It's all to look forward to here on Newsnight.
Okay, take it over, Prince.
All right, sports is next, right here on Newsnight. Don't go away. Thank you very much for joining us. It's now time for sports on Newsnight. My name is Prince Anand. Now, the Accra Great Olympics team find themselves back in the relegation zone after Hearts of Lions beats them by 2-0 at the Kpando Park. Now, and as uncomfortable as the 15th position is, head coach Yawa Champon believes that winning their last of the season against uncrowned league champions Ash Gold is not as difficult as escaping relegation.
We will still fight to the end, and then we'll see how it comes. I think the boys have really done very, very good. They have been fighting for the last 6 or 7 or 8 weeks now. So I give them the spirit, the credit for fighting and working so hard for that long. Football is very, very difficult, but hey, we will go back and then see what we can do.
Well, on the other side, Lions coach Yusuf Abubakar says his team stuck to the game plan, believing that it was the reason for their victory against Olympics.
We strategize not to allow Olympics to play, and that is the first instant. We make sure we press and win the game. Win the ball, play as to how we want to play, control the tempo of the game and make sure we do that and create the chances and making sure that some of the chances should not be wasted, because you can create so many chances and you waste them. And that was the tactical play that we approached.
Well, that's some good news there for Heart of Lions as they probe on in the league. Now let's go to some updates from the All-Africa Games, and let's touch base with our swimming team, where in the 100 meters freestyle, Krista Sowa finished her heat in 1 minute 7.97 seconds to finish in the 7th position. Not good enough for her to continue into the next stage of the competition. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Mark Ofosu bettered his personal best by finishing the 100 meters breaststroke in a time of 1 minute 28.04 seconds. In female volleyball team, Ghana lost to Seychelles by 1-3 earlier today after winning the first set 26-24. They meet Egypt on a Wednesday. The male volleyball team, however, dispatched Rwanda by 3-1 and will face Cape Verde tomorrow. Elsewhere, the Black Meteors, after drawing goalless against Senegal, will face their Nigerian counterparts on Wednesday at 1 p.m., while the Black Queens will face South Africa in their first match on Thursday at 4 p.m. That's it for news. News Night continues after this break. Thanks for watching.
Let's do the international news now. And an airstrike has killed at least 17 members of the Afghanistan's anti-narcotic special forces who were on a mission in the province of Helmand.
Omar Zwak, a spokesman for the government of Helmand province, said on Monday the foreign airstrike that killed the government troops took place on Sunday evening. Ayub Omar Omarel, district governor of Garasser in Helmand, also confirmed the report, adding the vehicles of the special forces were hit in an area named Registan between the provinces of Kadar and Helmand. The area is where the government's anti-drug police forces regularly set up ambushes to intercept drug smugglers. Another Afghan official told the Associated Press news agency that the airstrike was committed by NATO forces and came during an operation that was meant to arrest drug smuggling suspects.
A close-in headline, President John Mahama has directed Foreign Affairs Ministry to lead revival of the Ghana-Nigerian Commission into an expanded permanent entity to deepen bilateral relations. The University of Cape Coast has arrested Saxpert, who specializes in faking results for WASSCE applicants to secure admission at tertiary institutions. Farmer-based organizations say Ghana could be hit by severe food shortage. And 17 people killed in NATO strike in Afghanistan. That's how we'll end News Night, which came to you live from our studios at Labone in Accra, also on DSTV channel 277. I am Ignatius Ano. I thank you for watching. I'll see you again, God willing, tomorrow. Good evening.